I'm Austri Reifer, and you're listening to Good Vibes Sunday, a podcast brought to you by I Am Warhol, the blog. Every other Sunday, I'll be sitting down with provocative thinkers, industry disruptors, and culture changers. My intention for every guest is to talk about breaking barriers, shifting old paradigms, and really just opening up in vulnerable conversations. In between guests, I'll be having Candid Sundays, which are where I just come in and I have a candid day where I just talk about life and I do life with you guys. Good Vibes Sunday is a place to fuel up on good vibes every Sunday. I don't pretend to have the answers to all of life's questions, and I only hope that my personal experiences and those that I share of others will help you in some way to be able to relate those into your life and hopefully bring you that much closer to the answers that you do seek. So please join me on this journey of getting your dose of good vibes and filling our homes and our hearts with good vibes. Happy Sunday, everyone. This week, I want to do another Candid Sunday and really open up. I've been having a lot of difficulties lately, and a lot of them have been surrounding family who doesn't believe in us, and family and friends. It's not just family, but family and friends. And it's not to say that it's not because they don't love us. It's because they love us so much that they're trying to protect us by being afraid for us. And in doing so, I believe that when you are afraid, it's because when you're afraid for someone else, it's because you're afraid of something that you can't do, or you're afraid that what that other person is doing, who you love and you're trying to protect, when you're afraid for them, you're really afraid of what they're doing because you're afraid of yourself, because you can't do that, or because you're afraid to do it. So for me lately and for Adam, it's been really difficult because let me paint a picture of what it is that we do. We are two free souls. Like, we are entrepreneurs really seeking to, and I don't believe in talking about things before you do them. So I'm not going to go too deep into detail about what our plans are. But I will say that we have big plans. But something that's not so unrealistic. Let me tell you guys, my husband played baseball for 9 years. And doing that is really reaching for the stars. I mean, he really got high up in baseball levels. I mean, there's high A, double A, triple A, big leagues, and he got up there, right? So let's just say, for me, what we're doing now is nothing compared to baseball. So we're not trying to do anything that's unrealistic, but we do have big dreams and we have big aspirations. And I think that limiting ourselves of our dreams, or putting limitations on our aspirations, really just dilutes us. It belittles us. And I feel like so many times people are afraid of greatness. People are so afraid of setting goals that are huge goals because they're afraid of failure. We are not afraid of failure. We have failed many times, and I think the key in everything is really learning from those failures, really taking each baby step and each failure as a lesson, and really just being patient and believing something bigger than ourselves, and that is God, or faith and grace and possibilities. The biggest thing for us is we are so in tune, and we are so we believe so wholeheartedly in possibilities, and we know that our potential is endless. We know that we were born on purpose. While a lot of people don't believe that, some people think, I was an accident or whatever. You would say, I was born on accident. My parents didn't plan me. They definitely didn't plan Adam. I know that. His parents didn't plan him. It's funny because Adam's parents are having their 30th year anniversary or 31 year anniversary this year, and he says, hey, to his parents, hey, remember I was there during your marriage, so remember that you have me to thank for your marriage. He jokes around about it, but yes, his parents got married because they were pregnant with Adam, and but Adam was on purpose. I was on purpose. You were on purpose. We are all here on purpose. We were chosen to be here, whether you believe in God or the universe, whatever you believe in. For me and for Adam, it's God. We believe that God chose us to be here, and we are here on purpose with a purpose, if that makes any sense. We're here on purpose with a purpose, and our purpose is exactly what we're doing. We are on a road that is going to take us to exactly where we want to be. We feel this so deep inside of ourselves. Nothing has ever felt more right in our lives than this moment right now and everything that we're doing to get where we need to get. But it's going to take some time. It's going to take some sacrifices, which we've already taken. We've already been through the sacrificing. We are in the sacrificing. We are waiting. It is taking time. Sometimes people want greatness, but they're not willing to pay the price for it. They're not willing to sacrifice. They're not willing to be patient and wait, and that's where a lot of people fall off. But for us, it's been about the journey for us. And we have a lot of family and friends who don't understand that, who don't really see that, and they're worried about us. They think, oh, what are you guys doing? You're floating, you're this, you're that. And of course, they don't know our finances. They don't know our progression. They don't, we don't share these details with people. So they think because we're living a certain lifestyle, me and Adam, we live as though we have no money. We're savers. We're saving for the future. We're preparing ourselves to where we need to be. I still do my own hair. I watch YouTube videos. I cut my hair. I bleach my hair. I dye my hair. I do my own nails. I do my own manicures, pedicures. I gel my own hands, not because I can't afford it. It's because I'm preparing for something bigger, right? So, but people from the outside, when they don't know that, they see us as poor, or they see us as, lack, or my gosh, here, let me help you. Let me do your nails for you. I'm like, no, we're okay. I actually relish in this whole experience of, I guess you could say, suffering or not. I mean, I'm really not suffering. I choose this. I chose this. Adam chooses this life because we see the light at the end of the tunnel. We know there's something bigger. There's something there for us. And there's no other way to get there but to do this, but to save, but to keep pursuing and keep pushing forward as though we have no money, because really there is no other way to do this. If we want to achieve those goals, we have to learn to sacrifice. We have to learn to struggle. We have to build these qualities, knowing and having faith and purpose, and knowing that end result, that journey, that goal that we have will come, but we have to learn the lessons along the way first. And we need family and we need friends to understand that lesson. Those lessons, that journey that we're on, they have to understand that we are learning these lessons. We are being prepared, that we cannot achieve greatness. We cannot achieve our dreams if we aren't prepared to keep them. A lot of people, I always say, some people can manipulate and get things faster, but to really keep them, to really embody them, and to help it grow into something that is of service to other people, that your whole journey and your whole life is this unveiling of purpose, of really doing something meaningful, not just temporary, right? That to get that, you have to prepare. And to prepare means that you have to learn lessons. You have to stumble, you have to fall, and then you have to learn the lesson after you've fallen. You have to learn those lessons and use those for preparation, for strength, and when you actually do obtain what you want to achieve, right? Because you cannot have what you're not willing to become. So I always tell Adam, if we want this huge, beautiful home one day, for example, well, we have to learn to love what we have now. So I brought this up on my last Candid Sunday about the kitchen cabinets. We have these old kitchen cabinets, and we're not going to be renovating our home. We planned on renovating it sooner, but now after thinking about what this journey really is going to entail, we have to be smart, and we have to take that investment and put it towards really making other investments without going too much into detail. But it'll be all exciting things, and we'll get to renovate other homes, so it'll be really fun. But for us, I say, we have to learn first to appreciate. We have to learn first to appreciate what we have. We have to see the beauty in what we have, so that when we do have maybe one day this beautiful kitchen, then at that point we are prepared to keep it, that we are able to receive it. And here's the thing. My friend Nate Hughes, pastor from the Grove that we had on Good Vibes Sunday, he talked about this as a well. He said that God came and said, I will give you water and you will never thirst again. But if you drink out of this other water, you will always be thirsty. Out of a well, this water out of a well, he said, if you drink that water, you will always be thirsty for more water. I can give you water and you'll never be thirsty again. And I may not be delivering this exactly like him because he's a genius at preaching. But what I'm trying to say is that unless that we are able to live in gratitude with what we have, unless we are in touch with God, with purpose, with love, with gratitude, with the journey, with the suffering, with the lessons that come from suffering, with embracing everything that is good in this life, that we are pulled towards this higher power of understanding that we're here with a purpose. And once we are able to connect with that, once we're in that place, that we visited that we are open to that, once we're living there, once we're in that predicament forever, then every single thing that we get will be a gift, right? So every single thing that we get, whether it's small, whether it's big, whether it's luxuries, whether it's an old kitchen, once we could see the blessing in everything, then we're able to keep it. Because I told Adam, I said, look, if we get that kitchen tomorrow, okay, that wonderful kitchen that we dream about, it will never be enough. It will never be enough because we didn't learn to appreciate the kitchen we have now. This old 70s kitchen, if I can make this old 70s kitchen just a beautiful kitchen, if I can unveil its beauty and use my creativity to just make it everything that I want, and if I could find the beauty in that and find a blessing in that, then one day when we have that amazing kitchen we've always dreamed about, we'll be everything and we won't be lacking. Right? Because if we can find the beauty in this and we could find satisfaction in this old kitchen, then we can find satisfaction and beauty in the bigger, amazing kitchen that we want. And we won't be lacking. We won't be needing more, the way that Nate described the water, right? Because sometimes, even if we get what we want, we can't keep it because we always want more and more and more. And when we want more and more and more, life has a way of trying to teach us how to be satisfied, right? That's not to say that you're complacent. That's not to say, oh, you get comfortable and I don't want better things. No. I have this kitchen now and I still want that amazing kitchen one day, right? I still want to work towards that. What I'm saying right now is that I want to be able to unveil the beauty of this old 70s kitchen. I want to be able to find it inside myself and challenge myself and my creativity to be able to make this kitchen beautiful so I can thrive in it. And then by thriving in that kitchen, I will be able, like I said before, to cook better meals, to be happier. And then that will bring more joy to me, that therefore I will bring more joy to my work and I can make more money. And then we can afford our new big kitchen one day. And then when we have that amazing kitchen, we'll learn to see the blessing in that kitchen. And then we won't always be needing more and more and more. Does that make any sense? I don't know if I'm making any sense. This is super candid, as I said, but I guess what I'm trying to say is that finding the blessing in what we have now has been key to everything, has really been able to take us through. So when people and friends and family get so worried about us, it just puts so much question in my mind sometimes about, what's important to them. It puts the question in my mind about, why sometimes do people have to put judgment on other people? I believe that love comes without judgment and it comes without conditions. The moment that you place expectations and conditions on others, even if it is because you love them and because you're worried about them, it doesn't become any more about the love, but it becomes about yourself at that point, right? Because you're scared for them, because you want them to have more, or because you want them to be better so that you don't have to worry about them, right? You see how that whole thing shifts from them to you, and that's not love. Love is unconditional. Love means, hey, I know you're going through this and you may have your reasons, but just know I'm here for you. Just know that at the end of everything, I am here to love you and I don't expect anything in return, and just know that I'm here. That's love. And like I said, I don't believe that our friends don't love us. I don't believe that our family doesn't love us. I just believe that with that love, there's been a lot of judgment that's come tied with it, that there's been expectations that come with it. And we're in a space right now, we're in a predicament right now of really trying to figure out who to trust, who to keep in our lives, and we've done a lot of whittling away in our lives of people that don't fit in our lives. And I think that's necessary for anybody to really evaluate who is here in my life that's promoting joy, that's bringing out the best in me, that when I'm around them, I don't worry about judgment. I don't worry about what do they think? Am I doing it right? Who do I have to please? I think that when we're trying to really discover who we are, what our purpose is, and I'm not talking about just jobs here. When I say that Adam and I have a purpose, it goes far beyond material things. I could use a kitchen as an example, but really it stands for something so much deeper. In the end, we are here to provide a service to somebody. We're here to change someone else's life. Every single one of us is. Okay. And I feel like our purpose here is to somehow grow our business in a way that it could provide a service to other people through bringing them their dream homes. And then from that, other things will grow where we can give back to our charities. And oh my gosh, the plans that we have are endless in our purpose, and we will begin to talk more about it as we grow further into it. But this is another thing I wanted to talk about with you guys, is that what we've learned is that you have a purpose. But when you have that purpose, if people don't believe in it, you just don't talk about it. I've learned to keep my mouth shut. And I've also learned that not everyone is trustworthy of knowing everything about, there's the few people that really genuinely want to see you succeed, that genuinely want to see you reach excellence and be a genius and grow into this passion that you want to really acquire. But not everybody shares that. It doesn't mean that everybody hates you. It doesn't mean that people are consciously wanting you to fail. No, sometimes, most of the time, this is unconsciously. People don't even realize that they don't want you to succeed, or they don't realize that they're passing judgment on you. They don't even realize it, but they are. And it's those people that you have to kind of steer away from. And if you can't steer away from them, you have to at least learn to filter yourself, to just keep things to yourself. And people that are medium want to just stay in the middle, that want to kind of never stand out, are mostly the people that are the ones who judge. So the people that are afraid of speaking up. Right? I make a lot of people uncomfortable. I've been told before, man, you talk too much. And I say, okay, I do. And it's making you obviously very uncomfortable. I don't believe that I speak about things that are uncomfortable truthfully. I believe that if it makes you uncomfortable, it's because there's a part of yourself that somehow believes that you are not capable to understand the things that I say. Or the opposite is true as well. If someone does understand what I'm saying and they're very uncomfortable with it, it could be because some part of them understands that what I'm saying is true, and that's causing them some discomfort because it's making them kind of, have to face it or make them vulnerable to it, or just whatever. People get very threatened and uncomfortable when certain things are revealed. I feel like people that are comfortable are there because they're too afraid to be uncomfortable. So people that are not bold are too afraid to be bold. So the ones that are bold, the ones that do speak their mind, make them very uncomfortable. It brings out a insecurity that they have inside, right? So those that don't speak up when others speak up, it makes them very uncomfortable. People want to kind of cruise under the radar and don't ever want to stand out because they're uncomfortable when they're seen. Because at that point, you're vulnerable, right? So when someone else is vulnerable and speaks up about certain situations or politics or whatever it is, I don't like to talk about politics because I just don't know enough about them. But let's just say I speak about, I don't know, just life things. I feel like I could really speak about those things because I've been through some crap, And when I speak about it, I know there's out there people that are judging me. Oh, I know that for sure. But I know also, I think I've lived enough to know that those people that are judging me based off of an insecurity that they have inside. They may not even realize it, but there's definitely an insecurity. I can tell you this much. Anytime somebody judges you, it's a reflection of something that they're lacking inside. There is no excuse for judgment, period. The only definition of judgment, I don't care on what subject, on who it's on, or what it is, the only definition of judgment is that the other person is lacking in some way, in some part of themselves. And when somebody else is doing something that they don't approve of or that they judge, it's because they're lacking that somehow inside of them. Okay? So by me being judged, I have to be aware that the judger is somehow lacking inside. So when I look at it in that perspective, then I'm just sad for them. I'm thinking, okay, well, you're lacking, maybe if you're judging me for speaking up, well, maybe you're lacking some security on yourself. Maybe you're lacking some confidence. Maybe that person who's judging me is lacking in something for them to be able to judge me, right? Because I'm telling you guys, there is no weapon used against you that will ever prosper. So if somebody is judging anybody, it's only because they lack inside themselves something. I remember hearing this quote one time by I don't know if it was Tim Bilyeu who said this, but he said it, but I don't know if it was his quote, but he said, if you have enemies, good. That means that you've stood up for something. If you've pissed people off, no one does anything excellent without pissing people off, right? Because there's someone out there that's medium, that's basic, that's mediocre, that's comfortable in their position, that's going to get pissed off when you come out and push against the grain, when you come and go against the status quo, when you push against the limitations that they have set for you, that angers them. Right? So when you've done something against the expectations that they held for you, when you've grown past those expectations that they have held for you, that pisses people off. I love that quote. So what I'm trying to say right now is that if you have someone judging you, if there's someone out there trying to downplay you, delude you, or play you small, just know that the only reason that they are judging and playing you small is because they themselves don't feel like they are enough, okay? And they are enough. They are. Everyone's born enough. We are all gifted in that way, but not every single one of us will explore that aspect of ourselves, that gift, okay? And it's not your responsibility to help them learn how to do that. It's not your responsibility. It's your responsibility. It's your mandate to discover yourself, to know your purpose, to ask yourself, what am I grateful for? Who really am I? Why am I here? What is my purpose? What am I supposed to give to the world? How can I be of service? Those are your responsibilities, not to worry about who is judging you, why and how they can help themselves. That is their responsibility. They were born here to do that. You can help yourself, and that's it. There really is no changing people. If you worry about everyone else and their judgment, you are going to go down. I promise you will go down in smoke, because really trying to worry about everybody is unrealistic. There is no way that you or I or anybody on this planet could sit there and make everybody like you. It would take so much energy. It would take so much of your time that it would never happen. So why even worry about it, you guys? Just worry about yourself. Channeling all of your attention back on what matters, which is, what is your purpose? What were you placed here to do? How could you be of service, right? When you channel everything back on that, then everything changes in your life. Okay, then you begin to attract people more like what you're putting out. You begin to radiate this person of purpose, and then you begin to attract more people who are also discovering their purpose. And that gateway begins to open up so big that these people just begin to flood into your life, and you start to vibe with them. And then you guys are all supporting each other, and you are just living a happier life. And that is not to say that you cannot have the friends or the family members who don't support you, or who don't understand that they're here for a purpose and aren't discovering that purpose. No, you cannot get everybody out of your life. That is not fair. But what I am saying is, you have to learn, and I have to learn who these people are, and we have to set the limitations and stop expecting them to know and to accept our purpose. Because if they can't even know and accept their own purpose, how do we expect them to learn and accept ours, right? So what you do with those people is you love them unconditionally. You take all expectations away from them, and you love them just for who they are, and you learn to not overspeak. You learn to not tell them all of your plans. You don't tell them all of your dreams. You don't tell them all of the details, because in the end they won't understand. Right? They don't understand, and they're going to judge. And then that's not fair, because then that creates a really unhealthy relationship with them. These people are sometimes family, they're friends. So what I've learned to do is just shut up. I've learned to just shut up. I've learned to just keep it all inside and keep my circle very small, and to speak to those people that understand purpose, that I see that are also pursuing their own purpose in this life. And I've learned to just kind of exchange that energy with those people. And my gosh, I'm telling you, the more you exchange that energy, the more you radiate love, the more you radiate and are kind of like magnets towards each other. And so, yes, this is where we're at right now. We're in a time where God is testing us. And, from friends and family, we keep hearing, why don't you guys go out and get regular jobs? Why don't you guys go out and, do the right thing, the thing that you should do? You went to college. You guys could be doing so much with this, and going out and getting these corporate jobs. But for Adam and for myself, we have never, ever doubted this journey that we are on. So we always ponder, we say, why is it that we see this so clearly, right? And everybody else seems to have a different plan for us. Everybody else can't see it for us, right? I guess the answer to that is that they shouldn't have to. That the only ones that should have to see it for ourselves is ourselves. Because I always say that greatness is fulfilling your purpose. And the fact that we are achieving our purpose, I know it. I feel it with every ounce of my body, you guys. I know that we are on a path to our purpose, to fulfilling this purpose. Maybe even me being here talking on this podcast is all part of this journey, and I have no idea where it's all going, but I can tell you it's growing. I see the numbers. You listeners, you guys are growing, and you're telling your friends about us and stuff. I could see it. I never planned for this, you guys. I never even thought I would have a podcast. I don't even know how it all began other than I needed an outlet for me to speak to, But maybe this is all going somewhere. I don't know where, but maybe it's going nowhere. Maybe it's just a stepping stone to something different, right? But who knows and who's to say? All I know is it feels good, that it's growing. And even though, people that are close to us don't necessarily believe in it or understand it, I know inside of myself that this is exactly where we're supposed to be. That doing real estate and all of these things, being entrepreneurs, is exactly the path that we're supposed to be on. Sometimes people have this whole notion that the path to success is a straight line, that there's only one way to success, and that's the way everybody should go. And I feel like that is such a misconception, right? That we've been fed this through society. But I feel, and I think that it's been proven many, many times by great entrepreneurs, by great influencers, by great minds out there that I've seen, that I've read about, that there is no straight line to success. That there is a lot of wiggly, uphill, downhill, sideways, crashing into things type of roads that lead to success. There is no straight line. So why are we being pushed this idea? Why are we being pressured into this idea that there's only one way and that way is the safe way, and therefore we are going the wrong way and that we won't ever achieve success? Why is it that everybody is so afraid for us to go down this wiggly road and maybe triumphs and mountains and hills and stumbles and holes? And why are they so afraid when we're so bold at it, right? That's the question that sometimes I ask. I'm like, why are they so scared for us when we are freaking going full force and we're ready for it? We're the ones going through it. But then I go back and I always come back to this answer, you guys. I say, well, maybe it's because they're so afraid of that road, right? Maybe they're going down that straight path because they're so scared of going down any other way because it's the only path they know. And they want to see us go through the same path because they're afraid for us. Doesn't mean that the judgment comes because they don't love us. No, I think that the judgment comes because they're afraid to go down that wiggly road themselves, right? So they're afraid for us. But we're not afraid, guys. We're going full force down this wiggly, scary road, and that's because we have faith. We believe in possibility. We know we can't tell you how it's there. It's almost like science, right? We know there's other galaxies. We know there's space. We may not be able to technically see them. We know there's gravity. We can't see gravity, but we know it's there. We know it exists. And once you know that it exists, there is no other way. You know that gravity exists. That's how I describe this road. We don't know how it will go, but we know that we are going straight full force towards it, and that on the other side, we're going to come up on higher ground. We're going to come out on higher ground, that we're going to fulfill our purpose. All we know is that on the other side of this road is our purpose, is greatness. Because greatness equals purpose, purpose equals greatness. And we are all here to achieve, to discover. We all have a mandate to discover our greatness. That doesn't mean everybody sees it. That doesn't mean everybody discovers it, right? But we all have that inside of us to be able, and to that willingness to discover it. But that fear that stops people of discovering that greatness is what really, really creates judgment. You guys, it's a place of lack. And I feel like when people are placing judgment on us, the ones especially who love us, it's because there's a lack inside of them, that they know that there's gravity, but they think that gravity is only available to certain people, right? They don't really believe that gravity that I just talked about with science, they know it exists, but they say, oh, well, only those people have gravity. They're born with it. No, gravity is available to all of us. You know what I'm saying? Gravity is available to all of us. But you have to believe that it's available to you, and it's your and my and their mandate to believe it, to discover it, and to use it in a way that helps get them to higher ground. And it's not our responsibility to help them find it. It's really going to rob us of time. It's really going to rob us. It's an endless journey, you guys. We can tell them this gravity exists. When I'm saying gravity, I'm describing it as an analogy to purpose, to our greatness. We're not here to live a trial-free life, you guys. We are here to allow and discover ourselves and let all of those trials and errors activate latent potential in us. That's all we're here to do. We're here to discover what is our purpose. And so a lot of friends and a lot of family think that Adam and I are floating and we are just kind of going through life and we're trying to do something that's unrealistic. When in reality, I can look at them and say, well, I feel like you're floating. You guys are floating because you're not really discovering your purpose. What is your purpose? You're afraid of discovering it and you're trying to put that upon us. And that is not fair. It is not fair because although I know that these people love us and we love them, a lot of times judgment comes from lack, you guys. It comes from fear. They fear for us because they fear for themselves, right? So they don't want to see us go down this scary road because they fear that they are going to be terrified watching us go down this scary road. And what if it all fails, right? So in reality here, what I'm trying to say is that when mediocre people or people who live in this safe zone, who are too afraid to step outside of that box, those people get very, very uncomfortable when other people step outside of the box. They get very uncomfortable because it's something that they don't do, they know nothing about, because where they are is always safe and there is no moving up, there's no moving down, there's no moving anywhere from that place. When you're living in that middle ground always, then you are not moving up nor down, you're safe. So when you step outside of the box and you start to say, okay, well, where am I going? I'm going to start to walk in the direction of my purpose. A lot of times you're walking in darkness. You're walking in unknown territory. You're walking in places that you have no idea where they're leading. And all you know is that you're going to discover your purpose. And you may stumble and you may fall. No, you may not. No, you will stumble and you will fall. But if you learn from stumbling, if you learn the lessons that come from falling, then you will continue to walk to higher and higher and higher levels. I promise you will get there. It will take time. You will have people that are pushing against you. You will have people who don't believe in you, but you will reach your goals. You will reach your dreams and you will reach your purpose. You just have to remember that nobody can live this life for you and you cannot live it for anyone else. You cannot get caught up with why don't they believe in me? You cannot do that. If you do that, it's a battle you'll never win. It's going to deprive you of moving forward towards the dream that you have. And when I say you, I mean we, because we are in this situation now. We have people that we love so deeply inside in our hearts that we love so much, but they don't believe in us. They don't believe in what we're doing. They are terrified for us. And it's not to say they don't love us. It's to say they are so scared and they live in lack because they don't have the courage to move in those directions. And they are so afraid for us. So with that said, that is where we're at right now. And I hope that our experience in this could help you, whatever direction that you're moving towards. You guys, we are in a time period right now. I'm noticing it more and more and more, where we are all becoming more awakened. We are all becoming closer to spirit, to God, to realizing that there is a power beyond us as a whole. Maybe not everybody. There's still people that don't realize this, but as a whole, we are all realizing that we need to be more awakened to get to success. We are realizing that we are having to be more mindful of this life. And my gosh, I'm telling you guys, as I am watching this whole evolution happen, I am telling you that more and more people are starting to realize that they have to start believing in a purpose, that they have to start walking in the direction of a purpose. And as we're moving in this direction, I see the ones around us, I'm telling you guys, begin to radiate it, and more people come to you into your life that are also seeking a purpose. And together you start to form like a tribe, you guys. And that's such a beautiful place to live. And for those who judge you and who don't believe in you, that you love and that love you, but still haven't found their purpose, pray for them. Pray for them. Don't hate them. Don't be upset with them. Just take those expectations that you have for them, right? Because they're placing them on you. They expect you to listen to them or to do what they want you to do. No. Just understand that you cannot expect them to understand you. So just take it all away and pray for them. Pray that God or the universe will bring them closer to their own purpose one day, and that they too can find greatness. That we are all, once you understand that we are all here on even level ground, you guys. Nate Hughes, our pastor that we absolutely love and had on the podcast, talked about this, and he said, level ground, you guys. We are all equal. Every single one of us was born to do something great, to be something magnificent. When you begin to learn this, you guys, that every single one of us is equal and we are all born with this purpose, doesn't mean we all achieve it. It doesn't mean we all see it and discover this inside of ourselves, but we all have it. It's inside of every single one of us. It's available to every single one of us. Once you believe that, I promise you, you will never be jealous of a person again. You will never be jealous of a person again, because you will know that you were here on purpose, that you are here on purpose, and you're here with a purpose, and so are they, and so is everybody around you, and it's available to everybody. We're all equal, and once you see everybody else as your equal, then you will never be jealous of them. You will never look at anybody else as having more or less. Everybody is equal. It's available to all of us, and I'm not talking about material things here, you guys. I'm talking about something more, a purpose, you guys, the reason you've been placed here, right? So when you can look around and say everybody has that inside of them, and all they have to do is to discover that, to unveil that, right? Then there's no being jealous of anybody, because you have it too. If you start to put your value on material things, on status, that's when jealousy starts to come in. That's when judgment begins to happen, you guys. Right? That's why our loved ones are judging us. They're judging us based on, where are you at in life? What are you doing? Where's your career? What do you do? Those are all tangible material things. If everybody starts to see each other as equal, if everybody begins to see that we are all born for a purpose and we're all equal inside and we all can achieve greatness, there is no judgment that you place on anybody, because everybody's entitled to discover that purpose on their own time. Be fair to those around you and be fair to yourself, you guys. I think that the biggest lesson in what we're going through right now with family and with friends is that we just have to stay true and strong. We have to keep standing, and we have to believe in the possibilities, in this whole idea that we know exactly what we were born to do. And I hope and I pray that if you're listening to this, that you believe, or if you haven't discovered that you begin today, that your journey begins today, you guys, to ask these questions. Why am I here? Who am I? What is my gift to this world? What am I supposed to provide? How can I be of service to others? What am I grateful for? And what do I really, really want? What does my soul really, really want? Ask yourself those questions, you guys. every single day. I'm not kidding. Every single day. Who am I? Why am I here? How could I be of service to the world? What am I grateful for? What do I want? What does my soul really, really want? Ask yourself that and begin this journey of unveiling what your purpose is. I love you guys, and I hope I've helped in a little way. Hey, before you go, if you enjoyed this podcast today, we do ask that you give us a rating and a review. It really helps new listeners be exposed to Good Vibes Sunday and bring them on over. So as always, we appreciate you and thank you. Thank you for tuning in, Good Vibers. And be sure to subscribe to Good Vibes Sunday by downloading the podcast app found at the App Store. Catch you all next week. Have a happy, happy Sunday.